you, Mr. Chairman. I appreciate your hospitality in this matter and being able to speak before you today. I find myself in the uncomfortable role of being the legislative historian today. And I don't know what that says about how long I've been in the legislature for 10 years, but indeed when you begin to see things happen that strike an historical chord about what happened in this year or that year, certainly makes you begin to think about the dinners of Senate past and others talk about, well, that fight or this fight. But my point today and why I wanted time to talk is whether you're for this or against this, there's a significant issue that needs to be addressed as far as the legislature and the executive branch. And I don't think in my time here, in the 10 years I've been here, I've seen a clear case in which the legislature has spoken one way, and now, several years later, the executive branch comes back and contradicts the will of the legislature. And what do I mean by that? In 2009, there was this subject area was an extremely contentious discussion, particularly in the Senate. It was Senate Bill 554, submitted in 2009. It touched off probably one of the most rancorous debates that I've seen in my tenure here, in that it was rural against urban, but the bill, as initially drafted, was a statewide issue related to using BAT, a statewide issue. Never during the testimony that the department made did they imply that they didn't need legislation on a statewide basis to implement this. They needed the legislation. As I said, it's a very contentious issue, very personal in a lot of ways, as sometimes these debates go. And through that process, it was clear that in the Senate, there was not a consensus to move forward with a BAT structure for the entire state. As a matter of fact, in the back and flow of that, an amendment was proposed, Amendment number 2, which struck on page 1 of the bill, said that after state, you strike state, and in the Chesapeake and Atlantic Coastal Bay critical areas was inserted. In other words, we substituted a statewide BAT issue and narrowed it to the Chesapeake and Atlantic Coastal Bay's critical area. Clear. Legislature did not, particularly in the Senate, in that debate, would not agree to go with a statewide BAT structure. That vote and the amendment was 30 to 15 in the Senate. However, the vote on the actual bill, as amended with this provision, extremely contentious, passed 24-23 in the Senate. It was a recall attempt, just to kind of give flavor of just how intense the debate back and forth. But it was clear at that time that the will of the Senate in 2009 was not a statewide issue into the coastal bays and into the critical areas and nowhere else.